Welcome to the Avalanche podcast. Today we are talking about the FA Cup quarterfinal game to Leicester. Um, Andrew, you were there. What were your thoughts throughout that game? I'm still processing parts of it. So yeah, what were your thoughts and how was the general atmosphere there?
I got both the goal scorers right. I got the score wrong, but I got two of the goal scorers right.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Buzzing with that. Great for Noni's goal was incredible. I think Chukwuemeka's goal was a great piece of team play. And I thought there was a lot of intricate passing that we managed against Leicester, who I think for large portions of the game weren't really trying to press and tackle and kind of just let us play with it, which was part of their downfall.
I think to be
And I'm
fair,
focused on the
in
good.
the
I think
game.
Jackson played well and held the ball up well. I think for the first like 5-10 minutes they were in the game, and then when we got the goal,
Yeah,
it
fair. All
felt
right, I'll
like
give
from
you that
after
one.
that point they weren't in it until we scored the own goal. But let's focus on the positives to start. I thought Jackson did very well, held the ball up, did some nice flicks and touches. I think Mudryk was impressive, and he did actually drift out wide for most of it. I think he was better at number 10, but I think at whatever point Sterling moved out wide and he went into the middle. Um, oh no, Sterling went into the middle and he moved out wide, which didn't work quite so well. I thought Connor and Caicedo did very well in the midfield and sort of bossed the game. We were first to everything that sort of dropped in the midfield for most of the game, which massively helps us. If our midfield's not on top, we really struggle. Um, I thought Gusto was good by and large. I think there's a couple of mistakes there, but again, a very very solid performance. I thought Cucurella was good actually.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's got a goal which you'd expect him to score, but he's obviously busted up to get there. But once he gets there, you expect him to score. But at the back post, he won a lot of headers.
I was gonna say, I
That's why
think
we should get rid of it.
even if you take the goal out of the equation,
Mm.
I still think you're saying he had a good game.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think he added a lot offensively outside of the goal, obviously, but defensively, I thought he was very very solid.
He looked more comfortable on the ball as well. I thought, like playing from the back, I thought he looked a bit more comfortable, a bit more positive. So yeah,
Yeah, I was quite happy with a lot of the players today. I think it should have been 4-0 up. We should have been 4-0 up at half time.
100%. I said that to Ronnie when she came back from being out with some friends. She's like, "You won." I was like, "I did what?" And she goes, "Chelsea." I was like, "Oh yeah," but we said we should have been fucking 4-0 up at half time. Fucking
Yeah.
mate. I said, "I don't know what happened, but we should have been 4-0 up." And then yeah. Oh,
So you got any good positives that I've missed to spread before we move on to the resounding negatives?
no, you've actually summed up everything that I would have said. I thought the whole team had a no, I don't know. I'm gonna change that.
Yeah.
Most of the team
Yeah.
had a very solid first half.
Yeah.
Jackson, his setup for that first goal, I thought was brilliant. I didn't really like the antics around the penalty from him because I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
What was it? What was he
he
doing?
went over to the post, and he's the only player in the box other than the goalkeeper and Sterling. He's gone over to the goalkeeper's post, and he just starts banging his boots on the post. Then again, the goalkeeper's hanging by that post anyway, but all he's doing is he's bringing attention to him from the referee,
Yeah.
not actually bringing attention to the fact that the goalkeeper's pissing around with his water or his gloves and
Yeah.
his towel, or whatever, and it's just a bit like there's just no fucking there's just nothing. You don't gain anything from doing that. But overall, I thought he had a really good game. I think he is actually getting better. He's getting stronger on the ball, which is what I've asked to see. Better composure with the through balls. At the second half, that kind of went out the fucking window with some of his shots and a couple of
Mm.
passes. But then again, you said about a fair amount of the team. Mudryk looks so much better in that 10. I mean, I know he goes out wide, but he kind of drifts from side to side like a pendulum. And like linking up with the wingers on
Mm.
both sides. But he looks so much better. He does need to work on his tackling, because he gave away a few, but oh, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be negative. He probably should have shot when he passed the ball through to Jackson, but again, he's only played there a few times. At the end of the day, he's a lot more confident than he was, and he
Mm.
looks like the player that we thought he could be.
Yeah, I was thinking about it during the game where I think Mudryk and Sterling almost have swapped places. Where I think all season they've been extremely annoying at times, and Mudryk went through a phase of just 85% of the time, whenever he was on the ball, it just fucking hacked you off. And the other 15%, he didn't do anything special. And now he's doing sort of like a 10% doing something special, 60% he fucks it up. And then there's like 30, like
Who
25%
was that? Sorry, Sterling.
Mudryk.
Mudryk. No, I don't think he's
They
that
give a
bad.
lot of it because he did give the ball away a lot today
When? What, in the second half?
in the first half. He did give it away a fair few times.
I won't lie. I'm not being biased. I honestly didn't. I honestly didn't really pick up on that. I was focusing on another person for most of the first half, just sitting there going, "What the fuck are you doing?" Um, but
Let's explain that.
still
Let's
what I
move on
will
to that.
do, but still while I'm on my positives, I was really impressed with Cucurella today. Like that. I mean, don't be wrong. He's miles open and he busts the gut. To be fair, how he got into that space and a forward that I will mention in a minute didn't run into that fucking space and stood around three defenders. Now, you could say that he's utilizing that and trying to draw those defenders in to create that space for the running on
And the
Cucurella.
old Timo Werner, yeah.
But at the end of the day, he has no fucking clue he's there until he hits it in the back of the net.
Mm.
Um, Connor is Connor. Gusto is Gusto. I'm not doing them a disservice by saying that. Um, And Palmer was tough in the Palmer didn't get a lot of looking in the first half, but in the second half we saw Palmer for the player that he is.
Mm.
Right, on to the negative. Sterling. I don't actually personally I don't even know how he stayed on the pitch for the entirety of the first half.
Mm.
If I'm brutally honest, he did he did nothing apart from that one pass
The
to,
one
to,
assist, yeah.
to Palmer. And to be fair, I'll give him credit. He won a header. He then controlled it with his head again. He took a nice touch and actually gave a through ball that was worth something. I was like, that was actually really nice. But it does not excuse the rest of that fucking first half. Why is he taking a fucking penalty when Palmer's on the bench? He's on the pitch. Palmer's not on the bench. He is our penalty taker. Like, I don't understand it. We went through this against, was it Arsenal? And Enzo had to come over and say, no, Palmer's taking the penalty. Like, I know he's not had the best of form at the moment, but you give a player that penalty once we've got a few goals scored,
Yeah.
not 1-0, right? So then after he's then got the assist, fuck up the penalty, done nothing all first half, giving the ball away, poor touches, got in the way of one of Mudryk's shots, doesn't even move, doesn't even attempt to fucking move, just stands there and blocks that fucking far post whilst looking at him. We then decided to give him a free kick, which turned out to be a conversion in rugby or a penalty in rugby,
I
because
know
that's
it
just,
was wide. It was wide as well as over. So
mate, it was. Oh yeah, you're right. It was awful. And the shot that he had one on one with the goalkeeper.
yeah.
That's bread and butter. I'd expect Jackson to be fucking 50% of the time. I expect Jackson to be getting that, but I don't understand how he stayed on the pitch at half time, and then don't get me wrong, I was happy that Carney Chukwuemeka came on, but I couldn't believe it when they was it Carney or Noni came on first?
Carney came on
Yeah,
first.
and Carney came on for Mudryk, and it was just like, I mean, you could hear the boos through the TV. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it was so funny. You know, when you got the linesman holding up the numbers, even though the background was blurred, you could still see the face of the Chelsea fans just doing this.
Yeah.
Like, it was blurred and it was that fucking obvious. I didn't get it. He was awful, and he still expects to stay in the summer and wants to stay and fight for this club. It's like you're not fighting on the pitch whatsoever. So, and then Sanchez.
Well, no, I think there was if Fitson starts some effort levels, he's just like I have no confidence in him. Is my problem. Like the chance that he missed, I
Which
sat
one?
the one on one that he missed.
Mm.
I sat there while everyone stood up around me with my hand on my face, just like this. Didn't
Um,
move because I fucking knew he was going to miss it, and I was just like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
I think there's two huge disappointments that I have in Sterling taking that pen. One, he obviously lacks confidence because he didn't take the shot first time, and
It
it
was
was
a
the
poor
fact that he
first
didn't
touch.
take the shot. Is the fact he didn't take the shot that meant that we won the pen. So that in itself was just like, well, you're obviously not full of confidence. We're 1-0 up, and we're only 1-0 up. The other thing is Cole Palmer had the ball and he took it off him.
Oh, I missed that.
And one of the things that apparently is a saving grace for him is that he's an older statesman, the thing, and really supportive. And you're like, well, that's just putting yourself ahead of the team. That's all that was.
Yeah,
The bloke's
it's one of
got
the
one of the
reasons.
worst pen records I've ever seen in my life.
It's one of
I
the
was
reasons.
hearing today it was like he's missed 5 out of 7.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like Henderson because I remember Henderson doing that for England during
Mm.
friendlies and warm up games when he was captain or something. Yeah, he was captain for fuck's sake. Why he was captain, I'll never know. And he was doing the same, and he was still missing them. And I'm going, this is what I'm talking about. You're supposed to be a fucking leader, and you're doing that for yourself just so you can get
Mm.
an goal. Like I just think it's fucking selfish and ridiculous. But then again, this is it with Sterling. He came out. We said it before. He came out and he wants to be the main goal scorer this season. He's like, I'm going to score more goals than any other Chelsea player this season. He's got 6, I think, if that 6.
And it's not for lack of try. To be honest, the bloke could be our top scorer this season if he didn't miss every fucking one-on-one he has.
Whereas also he gets caught in too many minds, and his first touch is atrocious.
Mm.
That I mean, I'm not being funny. The main reason I don't think he shoots is because of that fucking first touch. That first touch is awful. It pops up again, and he's just having to stand there and wait for that ball to fucking drop. And luckily,
He needs to start hitting it first time because his touch is fucking atrocious. So he might as well just hit it first time and miss and not have the pain of him fumbling about with the ball. Just hit it first time, and by accident, eventually it'll go in at some point.
I don't know. Either way, I just feel like I have heard rumors that he is a player that the club are going to try and shift on, probably because of the wages he's on,
Mm.
and he doesn't want to go. But I'm not being funny. I do think that he's been the worst winger this season overall.
Yeah.
And the fact I'm including Mudryk in that, but you know, Mudryk, at least we're now going, do you know what? I think we found a position for him
Mm.
in the 10, which actually helps us because we've struggled with an out and out 10, and we're now going, that could be him. We've now got X amount of wingers that, bar Cole Palmer, you're kind of going, well, I think Noni's got more goals, definitely more recently than he has.
He looks his feet are better. He looks like
He's more
scoring.
of a
Big
threat
end
going
longer.
forward.
He's probably quicker, and it's
He's
just
more of a threat going forward. He's more
yeah.
confident, and that's
And
what
they both make mistakes. Like all of our wingers will make mistakes, but you kind of want them to be trying things. If they're never making a mistake, they're not trying to beat people, and you're not.
well,
You,
that's it. He's making mistakes by not actually even doing anything.
mm,
And that's the problem that I have. It's the fact that you're not really offering anything. You don't make runs. If the ball doesn't come directly to you, you're not aware of, oh, I might have to be on my feet to actually run onto that if it goes a little bit further. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just nothing from him. Most of the time, I just think there's absolutely nothing. I thought he was a bit more lively in the second half, but he shouldn't have even been on the second half, and he should not have come off. He should have come off before Mudryk. Like he really should
no,
have.
100%.
Um,
Even before that substitution, there were chants of off after Sterling kept fucking things up.
he should have come off at half time. I'm
I
honestly,
I
he
think
should have
Tottenham
come off at half
made
time.
a mistake there, not subbing him off at half time because I just think I get that he's having a bad game. in terms, and maybe you want him to get some confidence. But like, I think taking the penalty away from Cole Palmer when we 1-0 up is inexcusable. You're putting yourself ahead of the team like that is mental. I remember when Didier Drogba attempted to do it when we were 1-0 up against Wigan and we needed to win that game, but he wanted the golden boot
Yeah.
and he got absolutely slaughtered for it. And Frank ended up taking the penalty and obviously scored and we won the game. And he got a penalty later on and he won the golden boot anyway. But
But again, it's not as if like he's fighting for top goal scorer in the FA
no,
Cup.
there was
He's
no
not. It's
real
not.
benefit of that.
No, you know what I mean. It's just but that's who I think. But I honestly think that's who Raheem is. I actually think he's quite. He might, all right, might speak to some people behind the scenes, but every interview I've seen, he's always trying to big himself up. He's always trying to like say, "Oh, I'm the quickest," or "I'm this," or "I'm going to do that," and it's like, but you don't.
Mm.
Like you don't actually follow through with anything that you ever say with that sort of stuff. So, and this is it. If you've got one of our most experienced players, and he is unfortunately one of our most experienced players because of his age and the teams that he's played in and the trophies he's somehow helped other teams win, and he's doing that, I'm going, well, then why is he around now? You know, that's not what an experienced player should be doing. It shouldn't, you know, he should be the one saying to somebody, no, you're not taking the penalty. That's not your role. So yeah, it's just yeah, I don't. Now that we've got players coming back, I kind of hope he just doesn't get that many minutes at the moment.
Mm.
You got Carney coming back. Mudrik's found some form as a 10. Noni did well when he came on. Palmer's doing well. Jackson's improving. So yeah, I kind of hope he doesn't have that many more minutes and we keep players fit. What did you think of Sanchez?
I've said it before. Sanchez and Dizazi should not be on the pitch at the same time ever. There's
That
just
I don't put the own goal down to Sanchez's fault. I think he's lucky. I think he's lucky with some of the stuff he did, especially in that first half. But that own goal was a Dazzy mistake.
I'm not blaming. Like, I'm not really. I don't blame Sanchez for it because it is a Dizazi mistake. But I think both of them too often need players to bail them out,
Oh, I
and
agree. No, I
those
agree.
who
Yeah.
are bail them out kind of players, or at least aren't good enough on the ball, or have the wherewithal to know where to stand. I don't think Sanchez should have been standing where he was standing.
No, he probably shouldn't have been. No.
With Dizazi under that much pressure, Dizazi should have been able to deal with that pressure and be able to play a pass back though. But you're just kind of going like, what are we doing? Like we had it was our throw in.
Yeah.
Unless they haven't touched the ball, we've just kicked it in our own net.
But again, it's
Sanchez was a calamity. Like he almost got charged down. Well, he did get charged down at one point. We got away with it. He's too slow of thought or too slow of. He's blasé, and
it's almost like he doesn't understand the consequences of if he is too slow on the ball and a player gets to him, what could happen.
Yeah,
It's like it just
one
doesn't
speed, and it's just like
register.
it's mental. I think it's mental. I wouldn't have. I won't have. I wouldn't want him anywhere near the goal for me at the minute.
No, I agree. I agree.
I don't know how he's going to win himself back into the good books, but to be honest, I don't think he deserves a chance to. I think it's Petrovic's spot to lose. Either if Petrovic gets injured and he has to play, fine, or if Petrovic dips in form massively and starts having howlers, then you go, all right, we'll give Sanchez another go. But Petrovic had done nothing wrong for me so far. So,
well, we keep talking about momentum. You know, important games, big games, finishing the season strong, whether it's to win the FA Cup, to move up the league, or just to finish strong so we can actually go into pre-season with a shred of positivity, shall we say, to lead on to the next season. And I look at it, I kind of go, all right, you got to give players minutes and stuff, but I'm honestly looking at it now going like, right, we don't have that many injuries anymore in certain areas. Yeah, all right, we still got a fair few injuries, but you don't need to be playing Sanchez now. You don't need to be playing Sterling because the other. I mean, look. I mean, don't be wrong. Sometimes one wing will play, they have a great game, and the next week they play it, and you're expecting, oh, he had a really good game last week. They do nothing apart from Cole Palmer.
mm.
You know? Um, but I just feel like we're maybe now getting a bit of momentum. And if you are investing in the youngsters and the youth and all this stuff, then you might as well just fucking play them. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean? You might as well play them. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a good score, but I did come away from that game not feeling happy, not feeling excited.
I think the last 10 minutes really helped me feel excited. I think the two goals, because they were both very good goals and good
They
teamwork.
lost a man. They went down a man. We should have, but we should have been 4-0 up in the first half, and they went down a man, and we should be winning.
Yeah, but I think we've always struggled with the low block, right? And I think effectively for that time we were playing against a pretty low block, and we played
Yes,
some nice intricate
yes.
passing, and we scored some goals. And I saw something there that we have got the ability. We've got a few of these players that have come on can change the game with good feet and beat a couple of players, which
Carney for me was a big one for that.
yeah,
I was so you're right about the low block. I think they had 5 defenders at one point because they
yeah,
sacrificed a winger when the guy got the red card. Can't remember his name now. Bradley? No, that's not him. Cole Doyle, Connolly. I don't know, an Irish name. Um, and then they brought on Justin, and then they brought on Cody for Ndidi. So
yeah,
they went five at the back, and I think they
yeah,
pushed Chadri. Is it Chadri?
yeah,
Up a little bit more as a left wing back, but he was still dropping back in defence. But yeah, Carney's got great feet, so I'm really glad that he got on. And do you know what? I saw this statistic after the game, and I couldn't believe it. The top five, he was in the top five touches in the opposition box, and he'd been on for a few minutes. He was joint fourth with 7.
yeah.
Sterling had been on for most of the game, and I think he got 10 in the entire in 80 minutes.
Well, one was missing a one-on-one. One was missing a penalty. One was him touching it and then winning the penalty because his touch was so shit. So yeah, I think
But he'd been on for 10, like he'd barely been on.
yeah, no,
And he got into the top, and so did Noni.
and he got himself a goal.
They
Yeah,
both did. Noni and him were both in there with, I think they were both in there with 7 touches in the opposition box, and Noni had been on less than anybody.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, we were kind of camped in their box, playing it around, like
Yeah.
in their box. So like, there were just a lot of touches in the last 10 minutes. But yeah, there was the confidence to beat players and actually backed it up from both of them. Um, so yeah, I did come away feeling a little bit more confident, but I feel less confident in Pochettino now.
Yeah, for me it was more we just somehow we made hard work of that than it should have really been. You
Yeah,
know, again, it's our mistakes, and like I said, I just didn't understand those substitutions again. We should have been 4-0 up. I can't get over the fact we should have been 4-0 up. We then got them back in the game with an own goal, which will go down in history. God knows how many times we'll see that as a replay somewhere, because it is
ridiculous.
awful. Yeah, he's nowhere near the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper doesn't react anywhere near to it into to it
Yeah,
in time at all. I thought their goal was a good goal. I don't. I
yeah.
mean,
The second one.
Gusto's tight as well. He's trying. He slips.
Mm.
I don't have an issue with that. And then we somehow save it because it is a red card because it's outside the box. It wasn't a penalty. So
Yeah,
I sat there so happy. I was like, mate, either this is a penalty and you've got a yellow,
yeah,
or it's a free kick and you've got a red. I said, I don't give a shit either way. Either way, we've got to capitalize on this somehow.
yeah.
Fucking free
I
kick.
was petrified that we focused so much on the pen that they'd forget that it's outside the box and you just stick with the yellow.
I was
So
sitting there.
it really wouldn't have surprised me if they did
When
that.
they did it, I was like, hang on a minute. If it is outside the box, I was like, oh, it is outside the box. I said, that's a red card then, surely, because
Yeah,
he's the last man. That has to be a red card. And the commentators were saying it as well. And then what I love is that they're so happy. Yeah, no yellow card, no penalty. And they're all like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then he goes, red card. Oh, ref, what? You cannot have your cake and eat it too, son. Absolutely not. And he's sitting there going, oh, I was like, and in that situation, what would you rather have? Either as the player committing the foul or as the team, would you rather have a yellow card and a penalty to given against you, or would you rather take the red card with what 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, and it's not a penalty?
Oh, the red. Personally, I'd take the red.
Would
If
you?
as a defensive side, I'd take the red. Yeah, you can defend for 15 minutes with 10 men, but
Poach,
there's a
yeah.
75% chance of it being a goal when it's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
pen. There wasn't a
Okay.
fucking chance that Sterling was getting anywhere near that second pen. It was me, Cole Palmer. So
But no, but he got
it was
he
actually a
then took the
75%
free,
chance.
but he then took the free kick.
Yeah,
I was just like, wow. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy we're through. So either we're going to be playing City. I mean, Coventry beat fucking Wolves. That was a great game.
really.
That was a great game. They went 1-0 up, 2-1 Wolves, and then they had 8, 9 minutes extra time, and Coventry scored 2 goals and
Dude.
went through.
If I was picking anyone, it'd be Coventry because it is. Well, Liverpool United's going on now.
Yeah, I mean, what is the score in that one?
It was 2-1 when I left.
2-1 when I left.
Uh,
2-2, extra time.
Desmond Tutu.
Do you know what? I really hope it's United. Because I feel like we'll have more of a chance against United.
It says pause. Oh, right. It's, yeah, extra time. I
So
haven't
yeah,
seen
so
it
it's either going to be
before. It just says break, and I'm like, what the fuck are you on about?
it's the break, isn't it, before they start the extra time.
Extra time,
But yeah, so we'll find out after this game whether it will be Coventry, City, or Liverpool/United. And I hope out of those two it's United.
Why?
I just feel like I feel like where we are now, we've got a better chance of beating them. I don't think
Yeah.
United are really anything special.
But I think you're playing City, though, right? Whatever happens, I think you're playing City at some point. And if United
Yeah,
lose,
you should. Yeah, you should do. But what I'm saying is, in terms of who we get the next round, yeah, you want Coventry or you want United. Um,
yeah.
Realistically, I'm sick and tired of fucking playing Liverpool and it just
At
feeling
Wembley,
robbed every fucking time. So yeah,
or just not being good enough.
that is that as well. And I
Yeah.
kind of include that in being robbed by our own stupidity.
Yeah.
Um, Anything else for this episode?
Nothing from me.
Lovely stuff. With that, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments below, like, follow, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, and we will see you in a week as it's now the international break. Whoop whoop. Yeah. Have a great week. See you then. Thank you all for watching.